Hello everyone, welcome to Follow Your Heart Intuition Tarot at followyourheartintuition@gmail.com. Today I'm going to do a Capricorn reading. We've just entered Cancer, a water sign, Capricorn being an earth sign. And just bear in mind, these are general readings. So they may resonate with someone who's not even a Capricorn if you're looking at titles. But also if Capricorn is in your moon sign or in Venus, you know that, then maybe this is also a reading for you. This is a general collective reading, so take from these readings what resonates and leave the rest in neutrality. I call it, rather than being triggered, leave it in neutrality. I just want to say thank you also for sharing the channel. The channel is growing and reaching more people. And also thank you for liking it. And if you want to leave a comment to help me get more ideas about what you guys are keen on, then let me know that as well in the comment section. Positive comments, please. We all function better with positive reinforcement and constructive ideas. So what's going on for you, Capricorn, in Cancer season, today being the 23rd of June. I've just done a Taurus reading, by the way. Look at the titles if the titles do resonate with you. Even past readings, look at the titles. Okay. Capricorn. I'm using the Wisdom of Oracle deck with Colette Baron-Reid. Orphaned, Treasure Island, Exchanging Gifts, Milk and Honey, Yang. Wow. Capricorn, what I'm getting from you is that you've learnt to understand the meaning of solitude, as opposed to being isolated. You've come through a sense of time where you potentially have felt like a victim or an intruder or an imposter. Maybe you've had some form of trauma where you felt like you weren't being needed. But having come through this meant that you have journeyed onwards into a sense of abundance. You are seeing the world through a new lens, and it is enabling you to share your gifts, literally share them. And that sense of abundance can come in many forms. It comes in the form of letting you enjoy time with other friends, treating yourself, being grateful for what's coming your way, and not being afraid to take action. Okay, it's a kind of masculine energy, but with a feminine balance. And there is a sense of needs being met. May they be material needs, they could be emotional needs, they could be you doing something that stimulates you intellectually or spiritually, but certainly you've dropped a kind of victim mentality, and you're actually even enjoying spending time in your own company, which is really important. You're learning to be less stubborn about how things are meant to be, less black and white, but more rainbow colored. and it's attracting a lot of beautiful things into your life, beautiful relationships into your life, and also it's leading you onto new paths that you've never expected to be led on before. So Capricorn, let's clarify the past, the Orphan card, where you felt potentially victimized. There's the Five of Swords, so potentially a lot of mental conflict and internal kind of division. Maybe you've experienced disappointments with other friends, but you also needed those experiences to grow, to respect yourself more, to respect others as well, to respect who and what is calling you into a more harmonious relationship within yourself. So those kind of mental conflicts, you're leaving them behind, you're moving forward. I'm just going to get one more card about the Orphan card, but it has definitely got to do with mind stuff. Maybe you have learned to drop the mental battles in your head, or even with others. Capricorn, you're growing, you're maturing. I get the feeling you may be a masculine, Father of Cups, so you've certainly matured emotionally, and you've dropped this victim mentality, or this blame, or potentially self-pity, or potentially making others feel guilty for the mistakes they've made and it affecting you. And they were mistakes that were not meant to harm you, but sometimes people make choices that affect others, and we only realize it later on that the choice was wrong. So accepting your mistakes. This could also be you. Maybe you've harmed another, not meaning to, but it backfired. So this is where you're integrating and releasing mistakes, and you are reassessing things in a more mature, emotionally mature way. It's a huge full moon outside, so I'm just thinking the moon's just come up. So there's a lot of energy going around at the moment. So this is a good time to meditate, to integrate, and to literally spend some time on your own. Yeah, for the Treasure Island, I get the Nine of Pentacles. So maybe you've overcome material obstacles. Maybe in the past it could be that you lost a house or were thrown out of a place that was your home for a long time. But you have an internal stability, an emotional stability, and it's reflected in the way you utilize. It's the Ten of Pentacles, actually. You're utilizing your things you have as well, and it looks like you've got some form of material status, as in stability. There is a lot of stability around you and joy coming from it. Or maybe you're also learning to share what you have with this exchanging of gifts and not holding on to it in a stingy type way, which isolates you, or has in the past isolated you from others, because maybe you were not trusting others. But also remember, maybe others weren't trusting you because you behaved in such a strange way. In regard to exchanging gifts, let's get more clarity on that. You are definitely in a creative period in your life, like the Spider, Eight of Pentacles. What you've gained so far, you are going to expand on now, creatively. I love the spider because it's so ingenious the way it weaves this perfect web and takes its time. It's patient. You can't rush it. But yet when you watch a spider make a web, it looks so busy. And yet it does the same thing again and again. And even if you destroy a spider's web, you'll be sure that a day later there's going to be a new web. So you haven't given up, which is a beautiful thing. And also spider webs are very strong. And even though you've had to deal with storms, you haven't closed up in this respect. Even though you might have had to deal with sadness or a form of divorce or a breakup or a loss of a job, you haven't given up, and that serves you well because people want to work with you. Let's look at the milk and honey card. What is the guidance that will support your journey in regard to creating a world with more color in it? Abundance. That's because you're emotionally more open. So whatever you've experienced, you've refreshed from, and you're emotionally more open, potentially emotionally more clear. You've certainly come through the 10 of Wands card, which is you've overcome challenges, you've persisted, you're really resilient, and I think that's what's keeping things so positive. You're resilient. You don't let experiences get you down for too long. Perhaps you don't feel bad for yourself for too long. What I like about this experience is you came out the Father of Cups, which means you're emotionally really expanding, and the human race needs emotionally expansive humans. We've learned to control everything with the mind, but it hasn't served the overall well-being of the planet. And in some ways, with the virus coming along, it made us realize that we need to reprioritize the way we do things, how we consume things. Are we conscious consumers even? Are we buying things that we need? Are we buying things that are environmentally friendly? Are they good for our bodies? Even when we invest in, let's say, clothing, has it caused harm? Are you aware that it could have been made by a child in another country who potentially works at slave labor? All these things, we're becoming more conscious of it. Quality over quantity. And also, how can we expand in reaching people with things that are environmentally friendly? Could be knowledge, could be in the form of selling things that don't harm the environment. I get a lot of that right now. I get a lot of downloads when I look at these cards. Are we appreciating the fact that we have all the things we need and we can improve on it? All right, so what I'm also getting here is, Capricorn, that potentially there is a love relationship flowering. You might have gone through a disappointing relationship in the past, but you've got hope, and by expanding yourself emotionally and growing emotionally, you're attracting love into your life. You're certainly listening to your intuition, and you realize also that your stubbornness has maybe held you back from connecting to love in the first place, or yourself, or your potential. I don't like the word self-pity, but potentially this previous sense of being a victim, you've certainly moved beyond it. You've certainly grown out of it. And because there's the father of swan here and there's two swans flying, I just get a sense that maybe you're realizing that you dropping the past or sadness or an experience that has previously been negative. You dropping that past is leading you towards soulmate relationships or a soulmate. And also another thing I'm getting is that potentially you've come out of a broken heart. You might have been entangled in a three-way relationship. Something's been pulling you, but you've dropped the part that really no longer served you in regard to feeling a victim. Or maybe you were involved in a triangular situation and tried to work it out in a clever way, and what it has done, it has made you grow emotionally. Let's just see what the Yang card has in store. Yeah, there's definitely sadness from the past. So you've integrated that learning. And you also realize that the tapestry is much more colorful when we experience all sorts of emotions. And you're coming out in a very sort of mature emperor way. Hopefully, with your intuition card, you've integrated listening to your feelings as well as your mind and combining the two rather than just being a stubborn masculine energy, which is the old paradigm, using power over other people. But if you've got the High Priestess here, you're using intuition to guide your way forward and take action. So there's definitely, the action card is also the masculine card. There's Yang, the Yang energy. Let's see where that leads you in regard to this particular reading, and if this reading resonates with you. Okay. Hierophant. Wow. Just be aware that yeah, you might be entering some sort of contract. I'm just going to check in. I just want to make sure that whatever you're entering in regard to the Hierophant, which has always got to do with signing something, could be a marriage, but it's got to do with certain rules, established rules, that you're not that you're balancing it with the feminine energies. Okay, you might have learned something, and then because it's going so well, you're going back to an old pattern that could be too masculine and using harsh mental navigation to get through things. Yeah, something's definitely made you happy. Something is making you very happy. Maybe you have met someone and you're entering a marriage. Could be that you have met your soulmate, and that you're ready to be the High Priestess's other half, and it's making you happy, and you're both courageous enough to move forward, because there's the Lover's card. Yeah, there could be that you're entering a co-creative relationship because you're helping each other out now. You're not on your own. Could also be that children are involved, so you're being more mature about it. Yeah, I get the sense that Capricorn, that you've softened up, even though the Emperor card and the Yang card are pretty masculine energies. You've learned from your sad experiences, let's just say that. You've learned from your disappointments emotionally. Sad experiences sometimes make us much more whole. They really add an aspect to our personality that previously wasn't there, and we may have overlooked nuances that are really important in regard to understanding the bigger picture. Okay, I'll just pull one more card from the Divine Energy Oracle deck by Sonia Joquet. Let's have a look. What is the answer for this reading that helps integrate all this information? What is the answer to this reading? Rejuvenate. Somewhere something good has happened, and you are revived from this experience of the past. You're definitely rejuvenating. You are definitely more able to help others and also open to being helped. And you've certainly grown into a more mature, masculine, if that is you. And maybe previously you lacked making commitments, but you're ready to make some form of commitment. It could be having to do with a job, but I'm not entirely sure. I get the feeling it could be more romantic, flying in the same direction as someone else who you're intuitively drawn to and who makes your heart sing. Okay, it's like you've hit the jackpot with this situation, more likely with this person, and this person brings out the best in you. So I hope this reading resonates, and please don't forget to share the channel so it reaches more people. Also, thank you for being here, and if you do want a private reading, you can email me at followyourheartintuition@gmail.com, and I look forward to giving you another reading soon. Bye for now.